I'm sure the question on everyone's mind sooner or later would be, how much money should I be investing? And whether you're starting out with investing or you've been doing it for years, it's always fun to see a YouTuber's opinion on that ancient old question. So let's get right into it. As soon as you help my small channel get off the ground by smashing the like button and subscribing, I would appreciate it a lot. So let's get started. First and foremost, let's set some ground rules before I nail you on the head with some options. So, rule number one, what are we investing in? Rule number two, what's our investing strategy? Rule number three, what tools will we use? And finally, number four, how much money should we be investing? Nowadays, you have unlimited supply of investment opportunities / what we like to call investment vehicles. And that's not to confuse the Garda trucks. So anything from crypto and stock market and various startups and nowadays even Pokemon cards. This is not to say what's the right investment or which one's the wrong one, but today's video will be based specifically on funds, and even more specifically, funds mirroring the S&P 500, which has a historic annual return of 7% adjusted to inflation. And reasons for that would be being able to diversify across various sectors while lowering the risk, and due to the low fees as well, being able to save for your first Lambo. Rental property. ETFs are traded on the stock market just like stocks, but these are constructed out of pieces of 500 biggest companies in the US, hence why it's mirroring the S&P 500. I personally follow ETFs such as SPY, VOO, and SPDR, that's for Americans, and for Canadians, VFV, ZSP, and XSP. I'm just gonna lay it out there, American ETFs sound way cooler than Canadians one do, as it goes for most things. Now that we've decided what we're essentially investing in, it's time to discuss our investing strategy. This might be a good chance to reconnect with someone who was decent in math in high school, as they will walk you holding your hand through this extremely challenging calculation. Firstly, figure out how much money you plan on spending annually after retirement, including living expenses, food, vacations, transportation, including Lambos, yachts, and nowadays even e-bikes. Now, multiply that by 25 and you have your financial independence number. Basically, the amount of money you need to have invested in order to retire. Because now, here comes the main course. Each year, you'll be able to cash out exactly 4% from those investments, leaving the rest to continue compounding. Hence why the strategy is called the 4% rule. Now that we understand our strategy behind building wealth and what investments we're making, what other tools could help us in the rest of calculations? After killing another 3 hours on Instagram, head to the App Store and download the app called Compound Interest Calculator. It's one of the first ones in the App Store, and then give yourself a minute or two to play around with the numbers that you find suitable for you. This is just to familiarize yourself with the abilities that compounding has on your precious wealth. The more money you start with, obviously, the more money you will be left with. The more money you keep putting in each month, the more you'll be able to compound. And the more years you let compounding take place, the more spending problems you'll be able to handle. As Jay-Z says, I got 99 problems, but compounding ain't one. What? No, that's not how it goes. And the final round of the night, how much money should you be investing? Well, ideally all of it, but who am I kidding? So let's see where you fit yourself on this scale. Let's rhetorically assume you make around $4,000 per month. That's $48,000 a year, and that won't change, ever. Which is why this is completely rhetorical, and just to give you a perspective on how the amount you invest will highly affect the number of years in workforce. In the battlefield of you kissing your boss's ass. Well, you get it. So $4,000 in every month, and as our first example, if you invest only 1% of that, which is $40 into ETFs that I mentioned before, with around 7% annual return, and you live on the remaining 99% of your income, you'll be able to retire in exactly 74 years, which is absolutely bananas. You might as well not rely on your investments unless you're a Highlander, and not the car, I mean the immortal dude. Now, let's bump that investing rate to 5%. That's $200 per month invested while you enjoy unused subscriptions up to remaining 95% of your income. But now, it will take around 51 years for you to retire, and if that doesn't make you excited, Well, that's what most people are actually saving and investing at the moment. Let's cut in line a little and go up to 15% of your income invested, making it $600 that will go into your brokerage account monthly, and that change alone will cut your number of years to retire down to 40 years. And if you live more frugally and would be fine with saving and investing 25% of your income, which I think is very doable for most people I know, with a little cut in the budget and a few less cafecitos, you'll be able to retire in approximately 26 years. I know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but now this is where I like to challenge everyone to be. This is who people call a financial mutant. I know, that sounds pretty damn cool, but not as cool as the result of this, what some people may call torture. If you're able to invest 50% of your income and still be able to live on the other half, the number of years to retire will be cut down to 15 years only. That's not to say that your spending might and will most likely change once you retire, obviously, but I always find this to be so motivating and pushing me to increase the amount I invest. And of course, for shits and giggles, even though no one ever says that anymore, let's see what happens if you invest 75% of your income. That's $3,000, assuming that $1,000 per month is enough for you to live on. Drum roll please, as you'll be able to retire in 7 years. So when it comes down to difference in 74 years versus 7 years, asking yourself if investing consistently more is worth your time, which is why you always hear Gary Vee promoting the hustle culture, possibly grinding out your 20s and 30s to have the option to retire early, or just be financially independent and doing something you absolutely love, like watching Netflix, maybe some movies about money, yeah? Which is why you should watch this video next. At least you'll be able to learn something out of it. Peace out.